Want to talk Spurs who had this absolutely dreadful week. Quick question, Sue, really, really easy one. Should Spurs sack Antonio Conte now?
Yes, a really easy one. Do you know, I think if you spoke to a lot of... I should have put my headphones on and started watching the game, shouldn't I? I think if you spoke to a lot of Tottenham Hotspur fans, I think they would probably say, yeah, I think they're really frustrated at the moment. And you can understand why. They must be so difficult to watch. One week, I watched them against Chelsea. They get the result and we praise them and we praise, you know, how tactically they got it right against Chelsea. And then they get knocked out of the FA Cup, the Champions League. They then get beat by Wolves. And I think Tottenham fans can probably accept not playing the most attractive, expansive style football if they're winning games. But I think when they're not winning games, they're not winning trophies. Obviously, Conte came in as an elite manager, a winner like we know that he is, to win trophies and win things. So you think the only thing that now they're looking for is finishing in those top four positions. So I think if I was a Tottenham fan, I'd probably be saying yes. But I'm not, so I don't know. So I'm going to put my headphones on and watch the game, Jeff.
Thanks, Sue. I mean, Dawes, look, you know, they've lost to Wolves. They failed to beat Milan. Yeah. They need a goal. They bring on a defender. And Sheffield United. Right. They bring on a defender with 6 minutes left. Were you one of those who was saying, what the heck is he doing?
Yes, I was, Jeff. And it's been a bad 10 days for Spurs. 10? Shut up along there. I sat and watched the Sheffield United game. FA Cup opportunity to get into a quarter-final. And I seen the team. There was no Harry Kane, and that was a concern because Bramall Lane is a tough place to go. Yes, they made 8 changes, but they dealt with the game better than what Spurs did. You go to Wolves, first half, could have been ahead, had opportunities. Wolves made great changes, changed formation. Spurs didn't deal with it and lose a game. And then you go into AC Milan, everything is riding on this. I really believe it was a must-win game. It was a defining moment in the season, out the FA Cup, in top 4, but a chance to get to the next round of the Champions League. And they didn't perform. They were lacklustre, commitment. I was so disappointed. And then when Romero gets sent off, you think, right, we're in big trouble. We need a goal. And you bring Sanchez on, Lucas Moura on the bench. You think, surely we've got to go. You're going to go out without really putting a glove on them or even having a real attempt at goal. And it was disappointing, Jeff. I was so surprised. And you see the disappointment in the fans, the tune-up. They had belief, the atmosphere. They thought they were going to turn up and we were going to beat AC Milan, and Spurs didn't. And I'm worried now. I'm really, really worried. Antonio Conte, his contract's up in the summer. What's going to happen? Who knows? It doesn't look like he's going to stay because if he was... we look at Manchester United last year when Ralph Rangnick was in charge. Players go through the motion. If they know the manager's not committed, they know he's not there long term, you think, what's our motive? What's our goal? Where are we driving to be successful? Where are we going? And I just see that at the moment with Spurs.
These Spurs are going through the motions and he's still there, though. I mean, he's not come out and said, I'm going to leave.
Yeah, look, he's had his illnesses, he had his operation, he's had some heartbreak in his like, personal life with losing the fitness coach, Vialli. I mean, so he's having to deal with that, but I just look like he's lost his mojo. I looked at him when he first came in.
Looks like he doesn't want to be there.
No, Jeff, at the start of this, we loved his emotion on the touchline. He was up and down, he was frantic, it was great, it was energy. I loved to see it, and I just think he's lost that little bit at this moment in time, Jeff, and it's a big concern for Spurs.
You know, putting Sanchez on. I mean, he's done it before. He did it at Spurs. When they went 3-1 down at Spurs, he took off Son, he took off Richarlison, he took off Perisic, he put on 3 defenders and 2 holding midfield players. It's almost as if he can't help himself doing it.
Well, you can see, though, the fans are not happy, Jeff, because he takes off Kulusevski and brings on Sanchez. They booing it. You need a goal. I don't understand. It does look like he's lost his mojo. It's not good enough. Tottenham have had a horrible last 10 days, nowhere near good enough. I still go back to the Sheffield United game. Why not play your strongest team? You got a chance of winning a cup competition. You had no chance of winning the Champions League. I'm just putting it out there. I did sit on there and say they would beat AC Milan, but AC Milan were in cruise control. And then let me tell you something. The fans are there, and it's a great atmosphere, and you're thinking, go on, give these fans something to shout about. They had 2 shots on target the whole game, and one of them was in the last minute when Harry Kane has the header, and it's a comfortable save. Other than that, they gave the fans nothing to shout about.
I mean, people say, you know, that players shouldn't speak out, but Richarlison's had his say this week. You know, Merson, he said this season has been, well, I can't use the word, but it means not very good. He said, I was playing well. We won against Chelsea and West Ham, and then suddenly I'm on the bench and I played 5 minutes against Wolves. And talking about Milan, he said, we can't play like that needing to score. The team have to be more offensive. And you might not like him speaking out, but he's right, isn't he?
Shouldn't speak out. No, is he? He hasn't scored a Premier League goal this season.
Do you know how many starts he's had in the Premier League?
How many?
7.
He should score 1 then, shouldn't he?
Well,
should at least score 1. I mean, if you're on 1 every 3 games, which is pretty poor for a centre forward, he should have 2.
Not when you're in and out.
I think you keep quiet. I think you keep quiet. The manager's under severe pressure.
Do you think he's concerned about becoming one of the group that appears to comprise of Lucas Moura, who hasn't had a Premier League start all season, and Arnaud Danjuma, who has played 11 minutes since he came in?
And he scored in Champions League football before, and he still didn't get
on. And he scored in the FA Cup game.
Exactly.
But 11 minutes of Premier League football.
I didn't like what he said. I mean, the manager under pressure. I like Conte, you know, won the league at Chelsea. I think they've got to make the change today. Or now. They've got to make it now. They're going to have a new manager next season. Do it now. They're not going to be in a better position to finish in the top 4 than now. You know, you've got Liverpool, Chelsea. They're not going to have seasons like that again, surely. You know, you've got to take advantage. I mean, for me, I would get the manager in, whoever it may be. I don't know. That's their job. You know, it's not for me to pick. But Pochettino's out there. Why is not Pochettino? You know, I think Pochettino comes. I think Harry Kane stays. I think Harry Kane stays.
Well, I mean, there's talk about Pochettino, there's talk about Luis Enrique.
Yeah, well,
I mean, what about, you know, De Zerbi, Thomas Frank, Marco Silva, people who are sort of on the premises now?
Yeah, I see Steve Cooper linked as well. There's a lot, De Zerbi would be a great shout. Brighton fans, don't shout at me because...
Well, thankfully my son's going to be still either on the train or in the pub.
But I think the job he's done, he's done just as good a job of what Graham Potter done, and Graham Potter went and got...
But they won't, that'll be the problem with him, is that... Because Graham Potter's gone to Chelsea and he hasn't pulled up trees yet, and I say yet. You know, for me, I think Daniel Levy, I think the box he ticks would be Thomas Franks. I think he sings off the same hymn sheet as Daniel Levy. You know, they want to get in good deals, good players for a lot less than what the big boys have to pay 80, 90 million. I think Thomas Franks is probably one of the best managers about. You know, De Zerbi's come in and done it now for 6 months. Thomas Frank's been ripping it up for a long time.
I think De Zerbi's proper. I think De Zerbi would be above Tottenham. I really do.
Above Tottenham?
Yeah, I do.
Why is Tottenham not a big club then?
I'm going to sit on here and say Tottenham are a big club.
No, they're a big club. But
why is De Zerbi ahead above Tottenham? Wow, that's a big statement. Back that up, please.
All right, OK. Can I let me speak?
Go on.
Because I think you look at the job that Potter has done at Brighton. De Zerbi's come in and improved them, no doubt. You know, for me, looking at it right now, in Tottenham, I mean, yeah, they were Champions League last year. Every year it's a fight to get in the Champions League. De Zerbi, with what he's done at this moment in time, if he's given the opportunity, and it might not be in this country, it might be elsewhere with big clubs in Italy or wherever. You know, for me, he deserves the Champions League club for what he's done at this moment in time. That's why I think... I mean, I don't look at Tottenham and think they're guaranteed to be a Champions League team every single year.
Well, you can't say that with anyone, though, because you look how hard it is to get into the Champions League.
No, but I'm talking
Manchester
about...
United, we were going to say.
Milan, Juventus...
Yeah, I mean, it's a different league compared to the Premier League. Yeah, I know, it's a different league. We're talking about the Premier League with Arsenal. Last year missed out of it. Now they're challenging to win the Premier League. Yeah. And I'm not too sure how many of us sat on here were going to go, Arsenal would be in the top 4 at the start of the season. I'm not too sure. It's tough.
I did.
Away from the manager, one more question, Bodie, about Spurs. Do they need to get rid of Christian Romero? Can you play him in the big game? Since the World Cup, 11 appearances, 7 yellows, 2 reds.
Well, there's no doubt his disciplinary record is not great. It's just Tottenham, isn't it? You know, sometimes when you look at it, you know, they go and play well, and then, you know, you look at the last 10 days, and then we're off the back of, you know, the performances they put in, and you were saying Romero was good, and then all of a sudden, when everything starts to go bad, you know, the disciplinary problems come.
I mean,
can you rely on him?
He's their best defender.
Can you rely on him?
No, by a country mile.
When he's on the pitch.
When he's on the pitch. At the end of the day, Conte should have took him off. He's on a yellow card. You know, they've got to open the game up, so they are going to be acceptable to a counter-attack. I know he doesn't have to make
that tackle, though, man.
You know, I thought he needed a
I agree with you. He is their best defender, but it's his decision.
It's one for people to think about.